All right. Is this who's this, Mr. Johnson? Mr.
Hey,
Jackson?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Jackson. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Jackson, you're before the court on a probation revocation for you were before this court on September 29th of 2020, and you were sentenced to battery, family violence, criminal trespass, and obstruction of a telephone call. This is case 2020CR06273. And the probation office had, oh, you have 6 months and 14 days remaining on probation because we lost track of you, so your sentence was told. And it says that you have an offense of VGCSA, violation of the Georgia criminal, violation of the Georgia criminal, I think it's Substance Abuse Act, and giving false name, address, or date of birth on November 14th of 2023 in Clayton County, Georgia. You failed to report on November 15th, December 15th of 2020, January 15th, January 20, and February 10th of 2021. You last reported October 12th of 2020. You failed to enroll in family violence intervention counseling. So, Mr. Jackson, is there someone representing Mr. Jackson? Who's represent? Oh, Mr. White. What do you have? You said Mr. Jackson is stipulating and agreeing to the technicals. Is that correct, Mr. White?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, where you been?
I've been here working.
Where working where?
Amazon.
So you couldn't come to court?
Come to court.
Yeah.
I ain't had no court.
So
I'm
you
enrolled.
thought we just finished with you, that you didn't have any requirements for probation?
No.
You didn't have probation?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, why didn't you pay probation any attention, sir?
Just had other things going on.
Oh, other things. Okay. Recommendation, please.
90 days to serve, ma'am, and close this case.
All right. All right, so you're stipulating, agreeing. I'm going to go ahead and follow the recommendation of probation. I'll revoke 90 days. You'll serve 90 days in the Clayton County jail. I'll give you credit since the date of lockup. All right, so sir, you're going to have 90 days revoked. After the service of 90 days, you'll be this case will close and you'll be released. You'll get credit since the date of lockup. You can go back with the sheriff's office. All right, Neville Johnson, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Johnson, you're before the court on 2019CR07158, State of Georgia versus Neville Darius Johnson. You were before this court for a fray on the 12th day of May 2022, and you were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 3 months and 9 days remaining on probation. Your sentence was told because you failed to report on November 15th, December 15th of 2022, January 15th of 2023, and within 10 days of January 18th of 2023. You last reported at November 29th of 2022 by phone. You have been charged with the new criminal offenses of battery, family violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 2 counts, and cruelty to children on January 15th of 2023 in Clayton County, Georgia. You're also $810 in arrears. You're represented by Ms. Hahn. Ms. Hahn, what does your client say to the charges from probation?
I just agree to the technical violation, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Johnson, why you disappeared? We couldn't keep track of you, sir.
I I was on probation in another county, so I'm thinking if once I violated in Clayton County, I also violated over there as well.
So you was thinking, you didn't ask anybody.
I didn't ask. I'm thinking from
You didn't go to your probation here and say, hey, this is what's going on.
no, ma'am.
You was just thinking.
Yeah, for how they do things back home.
So you a probation expert.
No, I'm not.
Well, it seems so. I mean, first of all, you got more probation sentences than I do. So maybe you do know more than I do. Maybe when I say you need to report to probation and I gave you the opportunity to report by phone or mail, maybe, just maybe, you should have taken that opportunity and asked people, hey, what should I do in this case so that I don't get myself messed up? Let me hear what probation has to say on this.
Your Honor, the recommendation from probation is 90 days to serve on this case and close it out.
Yep, sounds right. All right, so the court is going to sentence you to 90 days to serve in the Clayton County Jail. Upon completion of the 90-day service, then this case will be closed.
Your Honor, will he receive credit since the date of lockup? I believe it was 10/24.
I'm wavering on that one. I'll give him credit since the date of lockup.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How old are you, Mr. Johnson?
I'm 30 years old.
How long you plan on doing this back and forth between jails and different counties and different arrests? How long you plan on doing this?
Honestly, I changed my life around
When?
approximately 5 years ago. It just a string of unfortunate events happened. I'm a father. I take care of my family. I got a house. I got car notes. I got bills. I'm trying to get it together. And just when I'm trying to get together, things just going wrong. All type of stuff going on. Really don't even know.
What you think is the reason those things are going wrong? Think about it. You don't have to tell me, but you're going to have plenty of time in jail to think about it. I need you to think, because usually when things are going wrong and a series of things are going wrong, it's because we're making wrong choices.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want you to, while you're in jail, I want you to start thinking over some of the choices you've made that have led to these things, and put the pressure on yourself. Look at what you're doing. Don't blame anybody else. There'll be plenty of time for you to add in what somebody else did to put you in this situation. But usually, if we are in a particular situation, we can find a direct connection to some choice that we've made that was not a good choice. Maybe you with the wrong person and this ain't the person you should be with. Not saying either of you are bad people, but this ain't my person. But I keep trying to make it my person. Or maybe you're in a situation where you are hanging with the wrong people and you're part of a crowd that you shouldn't be part of. Or you're doing things that you know to be wrong, but you say, well, I'm just going to do it this one time. Think about all of those connections to all of the things that are going wrong in your life and figure out where you fit in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because once we start doing that, then we can make some changes about what we're doing to cause ourselves problems. As adults, you are solely responsible for the things that happen to you. Somehow, some way, some choice you made put you in that situation. So as an adult, you have to think about how you got into that situation, what the choice was that you made that you maybe shouldn't have made, and then go back and think about how you can do it differently. So when you get out of orange jumpsuits and you're ready to resume your life with that house, that car, those car notes, and being a father, then you can make some different decisions. You understand me? All right. So I'm going to revoke 90 days with credit since the date of lockup. After the service of 90 days, your case is going to be closed and you'll be released. All righty.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, think about what I said.
I am.
Okay. All right, you go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so that's all the petitions.
That's correct.
All right, thank you, Mr. Austin.
Have a good day.
You too.
Yvonne Pettis.
She's over here, that was terrifying.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He wanted to brag about the football game.
I'll see you next week.
All right, bye.
I want to make sure it's about the clear.
All right, we're gonna go on the record, so if everyone could please whisper. Court is calling 2022 CR 11873. State of Texas versus Yvonne Pettis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Allie Jackson for the state.
defense? All right, and are you Yvonne Pettis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this case is set for jury trial. The defense has filed a motion for continuance. And state, according to their motion for continuance, they're saying because their expert is not available.
So last time, just to expand on that, we got discovery, some of the stuff basically has to be put on a drive and mailed. So I mailed it, expert didn't get it, so I had to remail it. So I haven't had an opportunity, the expert's not available, plus I haven't had an opportunity to review it with him, conferred with the state. I believe they're unopposed there.
We are opposed due to the voluminous nature of the discovery.
All right, so as both parties know, I don't like cases to be sitting around. In this case, will have been sitting around for a year. And when I say sitting around, I mean January 13th. Case was indicted and there was no autopsy available, which I don't understand why case is indicted. And I know it wasn't you.
Mhm.
I don't understand why case is indicted and it's a murder case and there's no autopsy, but that's neither here nor there. And then finally, on May 25th, the autopsy was completed and everybody needed to review it in order to make an offer. And then June 8th, this court was in jury trial, so we can take up this for trial. And then June 12th, defense attorney was in a federal trial. And then July 10th, that was when an offer was tendered and a plea deadline date was given. And then July 24th, there's an issue with counsel illness. And then on July 31st, the offer was rejected and it was set for jury trial on October 30th. And that was reset. And I'm assuming it was reset because we were probably in a jury trial.
It was either that, Judge, or we've had a lot of discovery issues with it. There were subpoenas that went out and that they said, well, this isn't the hospital that did that particular part. So they
Mhm.
reissued subpoenas. There was doctors who, for some reason, their records weren't at the hospital, so that individual doctor had to be contacted. And so we should have everything now. I came over like 2 weeks ago and brought a hard drive just to read. So I should have at least duplicate copies of everything, just because I wanted to make sure that there's nothing missing. So
All right, so you all understand that unless there's a plea that's going to be entered in today, the plea deadline date has expired and the court is not going to accept any pleas without good cause. Otherwise, you have to enter a plea open to the court. Does everybody understand?
yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so my understanding, Ms. Pettis, is that you're requesting a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So how long are you all expecting this trial?
It's probably gonna be what, 2, maybe 3 weeks?
No, I don't think so.
I
mean, there are a lot of-
2 weeks. It's just gonna be a ton of medical testimony. It's gonna be the more complicated.
All right.
thing.
Are there any videos?
Ms. Pettis has an interview.
All right. All right. We can go off the record. Now, I always ask about the videos because unless there's a video that is 13 hours,
Oh, yeah.
I don't, yeah. So
Oh, no.
that's how I
Yeah,
judge it.
no.
All right. So is there a video that I need to watch? Is there going to be a motion to suppress or anything of that nature?
There may be a few redactions, but it's nothing. I don't see any suppression issue with the video.
All right. So if there is a suppression issue with the video, we'll carry it with the trial. But if you know you're going to have that, make sure that I have the video beforehand so we can go right into the argument and not keep jurors waiting.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, they're saying it's going to be 2 weeks. I think it'll probably be 5 days testimony. Norma gives me the look.
And Judge, one last thing, we filed a writ for habeas for bond reduction, and I don't know. I don't know if this court hears it or will.
Oh, I will hear it. I don't have the motion though.
I think they had it in the file.
Ah, you know what? I have it. You're right. Are you going to go back on the record? With regards to the motion for continuance, it's unopposed. State, do you have any objection to the form that the motion is in?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will grant your motion for continuance. And what date are we doing this? Counsel, it's going to have to be in the new year. Oh, and counsel?
Yes.
You may want to change the name.
March 12th or April 9th?
All right, March 12th. Is that spring break?
And for some people, I believe.
Dinah, is that spring break?
Let me try to.
I don't have kids.
Yeah, so we'll set it on March 12th. Look at us. All right, we'll set it for March 12th. All right, Ms. Perez, you're going to be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something differently, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know and we'll see if we can help expedite that.
Judge, that is spring break.
Oh, is that spring break for you?
Yes.
Do you have children? Do you want to be there for spring break?
I can answer the first one affirmatively. Yes, I have two. The second one, it depends.
All right. Ms. Ferguson? He's on spring break.
You want to do that April 9th then?
We can do it April 9th. But if we do this April 9th, I'm assuming this will be completed before, let me see. No, we can do April 9th, but this will be completed in 2 weeks at the latest, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Judge.
All right, so we'll do April 9th. And do you know if she's found guilty, if she's going to the court or jury for punishment?
Jury.
Okay. And if you'll make sure that that document is filled out.
Yes. Judge, we provided an affidavit. I showed that to the state. And so we'll just be basing our argument off of the affidavit.
All right, court, we're on the record. All right, defense has filed an application for writ of habeas corpus seeking bail. She has bail, you're seeking a reduction?
Correct.
All right. State, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. It is the defense's motion, but the state.
No, I mean, if you're just
Yes.
ready to proceed.
Yes, Judge.
All right. So defense, the bond is set at $200,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed. Everyone, I need you to whisper.
We.
Just 1
Oh,
second.
sorry.
Name. Do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge, we've filed and attached an affidavit from Ms. Perez, shown it to the state. Where she obviously the court knows how long she's been in custody.
Everyone, please whisper.
She's been in continuous custody, so she's unable to make bond. Her family and friends are either unwilling or unable to help with her bond. Her assets, because she's been in custody for so long, she doesn't have any. She doesn't have any money. She doesn't have a house. She doesn't have a vehicle. And in addition to that, we've outlined 2 different incidents that happened at the Bexar County Jail, where she's been attacked 2 different times. And the most recent one led her to be in the wheelchair and the condition that she's in. She does receive medication from the jail, but they've told her that there's no physical treatment available for her at the jail. And so we're asking, in addition to just unable to afford the bond for medical purposes as well, to be able to get out, seek medical treatment. She would have a place to stay here in San Antonio, Texas. She could be on full monitor house, full GPS, because the case involves allegations where someone's under 18. She would be able to stay at a place that has no children and no access to children, if the court, would feel more comfortable with that. So we feel that with those conditions in place, the community would be safe, and she would, with the GPS condition as well, there would be no worry about her appearing for court dates.
All right, state.
Your Honor, as you know, this case involves the death of a child.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
A pretty horrific death of a child. And at this time, they are allegations, but due to the serious nature, we feel that $200,000 is appropriate. But that if the court is willing to lower them, then obviously full conditions. But for something involving something like this, I feel like anything lower than 150 even would be just way too low. It also is a little concerning that no one's willing to help her, because then how is she going to be supported in the community? That's concerning to the state, Your Honor.
Well, just to clear it up, it's not no one, it's just people unfortunately, the people that are willing to help are just unable to do so financially. So.
All right, the court is going to deny the motion, and the court has had no evidence on what amount of bond that she is able to make. So at this time, the court will deny the motion. And counsel, if there's an issue, is your client in protective custody?
Yes, Your Honor, now.
All right, if there's an issue at the jail with her safety, just let the court know. But my understanding, she is in protective custody. Beyond that, that's all I can do. And counsel, I've always found them to be receptive if there's an issue with danger. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.